Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Wake Up Podcast. And I'm your host, Favor Darrow. If you're new to the Wake Up Podcast, this is a podcast where I share things that I learned while starting my relationship with Christ and things that I am still learning while growing in my relationship with Christ. This is a judge free zone where I do not judge you guys, and hopefully, you guys do not judge me. And together, we're just looking forward to each other's growth. Hey guys, welcome. Happy Sunday because I believe you guys would be seeing this on a Sunday. Well, I'm gonna be posting this on a Sunday because I'm right now recording on a Saturday. I did have plans to record yesterday, Friday, and post today, but I had a conference that I went to, you know, with like a school club, and I did not get back home till like 11. Pretty much expected, but I still had the plans to record, but I was insanely tired and I just couldn't record. But I definitely knew that I still had it in plans to upload a video this week. Like I was not gonna move it. I was still gonna talk about this topic, and here I am. Whenever you're watching this, hello, how are you doing? How's your week? And how's your week going? Let me know in the comments. So, a ritual that I am starting that I want to start and like bring to the channel is New Year, New Us. So, the ritual is basically every week, like, when I record a video, it's going to be on a Saturday, either on a Friday, whenever it is a week would have gone by the time I'm recording that video. So, every episode, I am going to be sharing with you guys takeaways that I learned from my week and like, just advices and just things that I learned and I want to, give to you guys. Yes, that is what the whole podcast is about, just giving topics and things that I've learned. So kind of makes no difference, but it is different because some of the things that I'll be talking about, like my takeaways, are going to be different. Well, sometimes they are going to be different from like the topic at hand. It might, like, I feel like if it has to do with like the topic at hand, I wouldn't put it as a takeaway. I'll just add it to a bullet point for the topic. So without no further ado, let's get into it. But I also want to tell you guys that my light is like flickering. I think that's how you pronounce it, but it's like messed up. So I'm left with like just one light. So it's not as bright as the other videos were, but it's still something. It's better than nothing. So let's get into it. Okay. All right. First takeaway is my journal, not journal, my devotion. Oh my gosh, I got into, I was like, I'm so excited to tell you guys about it. So, like, I get so lost of words to say, okay, let me breathe in and breathe out. Okay, guys, I got recommended a devotional book from one of my YouTubers. Well, one of my YouTubers' friends. So, she recommended it while I was watching a vlog of hers, and in the video she recommended the book, and I had been looking forward to, starting devotion and not just praying in the morning, also like reading devotions in the morning as well. And one of my goals was also to like read books this year. I wouldn't necessarily call that the type of books that I would add like in general. It's just like saying that the Bible is just a book. No, it's not just a book. So it's not something I'll categorize under the type of books that I want to, read as my goal. But I'm already going out of track. But yeah, I did get recommended that devotional book, and so far it is awesome. And I recommend it for women and for like teenagers. I feel like it is better, for teenagers and women to read it. For my guys, for the men, I have a recommendation for you guys as well. I recommended this for my brother, and yeah, I believe this is a really good book for you guys to check out. Good devotion book for you guys to check out. But the one I'm reading is for women that I recommend is called Embraced by Lisa Turkhurst. So Terkeurst. That's how you spell her last name. I got it off of Amazon and it was used. I got a used one and it looks so good. Like it doesn't even look like it was used. but I got it from Amazon and it was like $6, pretty cheap, I know. Then for the one I recommend for men, this one women can also read this, but just because like I want to recommend something for men as well, definitely try Walking with God by David Jeremiah or Jeremiah David. But if you go to Amazon and you put that on there, you will definitely find it. And that's about like $4.99 for a used book. So you guys should check it out. Now let's get to my takeaway. My takeaway from one day in, my devotion, just normal, time with God in the morning, I saw this that really spoke to me, and it basically says, overlooked by everyone else, handpicked by God. So I don't want to go too deep, but in general, what I'm trying to like get you guys to take away from this quote, I wouldn't necessarily call it a quote. I feel like it is a quote, yeah. From this is that at times it might seem like you're not, how do I put it? Like, it just seems like no one's ever looking at what you're doing, and yeah, you're doing it with good intentions at heart, and you're trying your best, but nobody ever seems to like, look at what you're doing. But the Lord sees what you're doing, and He's so proud of you. And that's the one thing about trusting the Lord's will and just letting Him handle you doing that thing you're doing, and just keep doing it. Don't complain. Just do your regulars. The Lord is going to find that person that is going to, his favor is going to rest on you. And having the Lord's favor is beautiful because the Lord works wonders. So when everybody else is like just talking down on you, and like when an example I will put is um a girl, like, this is just an example. A girl, like, everyone's talking about who's going to be the valedictorian of the class, is going to be top 10, but nobody mentions her name. Like, deep down in her heart, she wants to be she wants to be the valedictorian, but nobody's looking at her like that. It's possible for her to be the valedictorian. She never says it out loud. She just says it in her head. Like, whenever the topic comes up, and like it's like, who do you think is going to be the valedictorian? She never answers that question, but in her head, she's like, I'm going to be the valedictorian because I have the Lord and He's going to work wonders. So, by the time comes, she's the valedictorian and everyone is shocked. And this is just explaining the quote. Everyone's going to overlook you and they're going to be like, it's not possible. Forget about that dream. But the Lord is going to pick you and put you there and place you at a table for your enemies, and they're going to show, oh my goodness, that just reminded me of something. It's going to show those enemies and those people that talk down on you that, okay, maybe God actually does wonders, and this will pull them close to you. An idea I had was that I had, but yesterday all changed. I was listening to something, a podcast, and I heard this and I'm like, interesting, because mind you, it had nothing to do with the topic that the pastor was talking about. So it just slipped out, and I just paid much more attention to it. So it basically said that the Lord, like, something that I realized that I did, that something that happened 2 weeks ago. A friend did me wrong. Well, it's still in like kind of question, but if something happened and it was just on my side, I was like, you know what, I forgive them and I'm gonna let God do His plan. Like, here I'm just leave it to God. And my defense, with that mindset, my mindset was that the Lord's going to punish them. But guess what? It's not going to be that. The Lord is going to show them. It's going to show them about Him. So it's like the way the Lord, like, shows people how He works in your life is going to not lead them to be scared of you or be scared of the Lord, but it's going to lead them to want to chase Him. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. But that's my one takeaway. Please put this down. Like, something I like when I think about this, like, when it's like little things, and like it's just kind of like I feel like I'm never gonna get to that position where people people just feel like, it's just way too many people that I believe that they can never choose me, handpicked by God. Everyone's going to overlook me, but God is going to say, hey, I'm taking my daughter and I want you to choose her. And a story that she also talked about was David, how I can't remember who was picking a next king, but David's brothers were the ones that they were being, they were showing them, and they were having the attributes that they needed for the king. But they asked, okay, what about David? What about any other son? And they mentioned David, and that's how the Lord, he decided that, okay, you know what, I'm going to choose David. That's what I want. While David was just doing his normal thing, he wasn't even trying to look good or anything. He was doing his regular thing, and that is how the Lord handpicked him, and he was chosen for that position, for to be the king. So keep doing what you're doing with good intentions at heart, and just know the Lord does not hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't forgotten that thing you've been praying for. So be patient and trust the Lord. Okay? Kind of just I took a quite time on that, but I just really needed you guys to know. Okay, next thing is this is kind of like an advice, and I want you guys to do this, please. It's really important, please, guys. Add to your goal list, like whatever it is, probably your vision board, whatever it is, please add this to it. Win at least one soul for God, or more if you already started. If you're someone who has a podcast like I do, and you're already doing it, and people are already telling you that, hey, um, I got closer to the Lord because of you. Sometimes you haven't gotten people tell you yet, but you're doing your thing and you're doing it with good intentions at heart. Just know the Lord is working. So it's okay. Keep doing what you're doing. But now, if you're someone who has never attempted it, please do. Get up. Think of it. What's that talent that you have? Use it to bring people to the Lord. It is really important. Is it singing? Is it doing a podcast? Is it just doing little things? And if it's like something I also want to like put out there is, if it's even little things like, just if you listen to a worship music and there's just a lyric that could just speak to someone, post it on your story, post it. You never know who's gonna see it and who's going to touch. So post that, because I do that too, because I have that mindset that, you know what, me posting this, somebody could get touched by this. I'm gonna post it. So post that, okay? Third and lastly is, do not turn reading your Bible and spending time with God as one of the things on your to-do list. I learned this today, like 3 hours ish ago, like 5 hours ago. I learned this. Like I was reading my Bible and I was barely focused and I wasn't reading it properly, and it was kind of just, okay, I'm done. That's it. I realized that I got convicted so hard, and I put my phone down and I spoke to the Lord and I told him I realized, and I really apologize because this is wrong and this is disrespectful and I shouldn't be doing that. So guys, let's drop that habit. Do not turn reading your Bible or spending time in the secret place with the Lord as a to-do list. Willingly go spend time with your Father. He's happy to see you. Be happy to spend time with him too. It's not fun when the what's it called, oh when the emotions aren't the same. Not emotions, but like, it's like when you're happy to see someone but they're not, the vibe will be off. Like, it will be a really sad atmosphere. So that's how it probably feels, when you go to the Lord and you're just trying to hurry up and go back to whatever you're doing. The Lord is not something to kick off your to-do list. Whatever chance, not whatever chance, but whenever you have the chance, use it to spend time with the Lord. Like, listen to worship music, turn on Spotify and listen to worship music. If it's little things like that, yeah, just add that. So that is it for today's takeaways. Sorry, that's it for this week takeaways. I really hope it touched somebody, and y'all could you guys need to really check out those devotion books. I hope you guys go check them out. And yeah, those are my takeaways. Now let's get into today's topic. Today's topic is about judgment. We're basically talking about judgment. And yeah, judgment is our topic for today. And our verse for today is Matthew 7, verse 1 to 2. Okay, Matthew 7, verse 1 to 2 says, do not judge so that you won't be judged. For that judgment you use, you will be judged. And with that measure you use, it will be measured to you. So basically, what we're talking about is just basically off of experience, something I experienced and I've learned. Like I say in the introduction every time, like my videos are based off things that I learned while starting my relationship with Christ and things that I'm still learning. So whatever I'm speaking on, it is basically things that I learned. I hate that I repeat words like that. But let's get into the points. I'm gonna first start off sharing my experience, just let you guys know that hey, if you're someone who's doing this, I went through this, so I know now that this was really bad and it's something that we shouldn't be doing at all. Okay, first, I started judging people when I started my relationship with Christ. Like when I saw someone move the wrong way or like smile the wrong way or everyone post like a certain type of way, I was judging so hard. Sometimes I wasn't even saying it with my mouth to people, but in my head, in my thoughts, I was judging so bad. I believed I was perfect. Now I found the Lord. I am perfect. I'm the perfect human being, and everybody else does not matter. As long as I have the Lord, I am okay. That's true, but it wasn't the right mindset. Okay. I also didn't want to have anything to do with people who do not have a relationship with Christ. It makes sense, but at the same time, it doesn't. Like it was like it got to the point where, and this is not me anymore, so I feel like I could say this. My church, my youth church, I wanted to stop going there and rather go to my friend's church because of how the youth, well, some of the youth were more like, you know, happy to praise the Lord and happy to come to church, and it wasn't for the wrong reasons from what I saw. But the Lord spoke to me, and He spoke to me through a TikTok actually, and the video was basically like, what if the Lord put you in that place, surrounded by those people for a reason, for you to be their light while they're in that darkness, for you to be able to change them. But I took it all wrong. I was judging them. I wanted to just not be around them. Like I was like, no, like this is so depressing. Like I cannot be here. I grew. That mindset is not something I have anymore. Now the mindset I'm going with is okay, praise and worship. They don't clap, they don't dance. It's okay because I'm gonna be dancing, I'm gonna be clapping, and whoever might be shy, to do it as well because of what their friends might think, will look at me and be like, hey, you see that girl, she doesn't care, like maybe I should not care as well. And they will follow me and they will grow and just realize that, you know what, I'm not going to be ashamed of praising the Lord. And I'm telling you this, that I'm saying this, I have this mindset because this is something that I looked at somebody else doing, and I was like, you know what, let me actually not be ashamed of, you know, praising God in public because of what people would think of me or because of how I can't dance and all that. No, I stopped that mindset and look at where I am now. I am pursuing a relationship with Christ. So those little things don't matter. And if you're someone who's probably going through this, who's like, you know what, I do not want to be around these people, especially for like little situations. I'm not saying in general be around unbelievers. There's certain situations where it's just a case where you can't exactly like just escape them depending on, I don't know how to put it, but it's just like little things like church. Not everyone that comes to church believes in, well, I'll call them Christians, but not everyone truly has a relationship with Christ and actually moves by Christ in their heart. So you'll see little things like this. What I'm trying to say is just don't be quick to leave them. Like pitch in an advice or two and let God do the rest. Let God do the rest in that person's life. And another example is probably someone posting the Bible verses and posting about church and stuff, but the next day they're in the club, they're smoking, they're partying. And mind you, this is something I judged someone about before. Like I remember judging someone about this, and I was like, my favorite phrase was, I don't want to judge, but then I go into judging. It's funny thinking of it, but it wasn't a good act at all. So what I could have done in that situation was go talk to the person and be like, hey, You can't disrespect the Lord like this, but like not in the way that it will make, you know, it would obviously be with a calm tone and be like, hey, do you have a relationship with Christ? You know, like it is disrespectful posting the clubs and, you know, the smoking thing, then posting the Lord after. You're disrespecting the Lord and you're giving people the wrong view of who a Christian is. I should have just done this, and however the person would have reacted, it is okay. I would just let the Lord do His thing. So please, guys, instead of judging, let's help them. Let's advise them. Let's pray for them. Okay? Let's stop judging. Don't be using that phrase. I'm not gonna judge, but or I don't want to judge, but it's funny thinking about it. Not a good act. No, no, no. It's funny right now, but then it wasn't funny because I was actually judging, and we shouldn't be doing that. Okay, we should not judge others for not being at the same pace we are spiritually because we are all different and no one is perfect. That person you're judging for sinning and, you know, doing all they're doing and all that worldly stuff is someone who you once were. So if someone was judging you like that and they didn't help you to, you know, find Christ, you will be that person still. And I'm speaking for experience. Like if that person, you know, that posted that podcast videos and posted on TikTok were, you know, just judging everybody, they wouldn't have had the chance to, you know, save a soul like mine. So let's not judge and instead help. You know, post about it. Tell people out there like, hey, what you're doing isn't fun. It is not good. It is disrespectful to the Lord. Come to Christ. Choose a side and choose the Lord because that's the perfect side. That's the most better side. You know things like this instead of judging. Because something I want to add is, yeah, we're not perfect. Like, and even when you get to a relationship with Christ, like you still aren't perfect. There's times where you fall back. I'm speaking from experience as well. Like everything, I'm speaking from experience. But there's times where temptation, you fall into temptation, and I'm not saying we're not humans, but at the same time, it's like it's just it just really happens. And one thing I would also say is the Lord will be quick to humble you. You keep judging those people, but you don't know the Lord is listening, and He's like, "What are you doing?" Like He's literally like, "What are you doing? You could literally be doing this right now." Something my friend shared that made me just remember this point, and I was like, "Bro, this is so true because the Lord will be quick to humble you." She said she used to judge people for doing a particular sin, and God tempted her, like not God, but she got tempted with that sin. And it was like she got shut real quick, like her mouth got shut, and she was like, yeah, I'm not judging no one again because this is really hard and I feel bad for the person going through this. So how can you help them? Pray for them. Pray to the Lord to help them. Stop judging, please, guys. Cause something I heard is one thing I know and I'm for certain about is judging is the work of the devil. And do you want to know how? I saw someone comment on a video on TikTok saying, I no longer want to be a Christian because of how Christians are so judgmental. It basically like it just so what are we doing? Are we pushing people away from Christ or are we pulling them closer to Christ? And you see how that's the devil's work. The devil will put those thoughts in your head. He would want you to judge that person because you judging that person and even probably showing signs that you're judging them makes them feel like, and especially when it's an environment like a church, like they'll be scared to go to church because everyone's judging them. So what are we doing? What are we really doing? This is the devil trying to pull people out of building a relationship with Christ. Please, guys, let's stop judging. That's the highlight of today. What if we stop being so judgmental? What if? Will people be scared to want to give their life to Christ, or will they be happy because of they see the love that's being shared among us Christians? What would they think about you as a Christian? If people come around you and you're in a room of unbelievers or something like that, how's your character? How's your attitude towards them? how are they gonna feel? Are they gonna feel like they can't be around you because they just know you're judging them deep down? Or do you actually still show them love and you're praying for them? This is a question we should all ask ourselves. Please, let's not paint an image of us that we're not, because it is not a good image that gets painted nowadays. And I'm not trying to say we're being performative, like where like, oh, being a Christian is a real high profile, like we all gotta look good, we can't look bad. No, no, we're humans. Everyone's human. But it's all about your heart. When you give your life to Christ, you're surrendering it all to Christ. You're letting Him fuel you and grow up with you and build you up. So you wanna get built, right? You wanna grow. Stop going back to those things. Stop going back to, you know, this acts of the devil and this character that the devil places in people. So I kind of rambled, but I really just hope you guys got the point of today. Please stop judging. Um, I'm not perfect either. The times where the devil tries to place in my thoughts, and sometimes I agree with him with the judging thoughts. Sometimes I fight it back and, have nice thoughts of the person that the devil is trying to make me judge. So I feel like that's something you should do. Think about nice things about this person. While the devil is trying to put those bad thoughts in your head and be like, look at that person, look at how she's dressed, and just that's God's child. Think of this, that's God's child, and she's going to get saved after I pray for her. You know what? I'm gonna go up to her and I'm gonna tell her, hey, you want to start a relationship with Christ? I'll introduce her to Christ. I'll give it a shot and let God do His thing. Let's keep this mindset. I really hope, once again, that someone really learned something from this. Also, I forgot to tell you guys, if you guys have any takeaways from your week, as I share my takeaways, share yours in the comment. Let's all be a big family and all interact. Okay. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.